Hey guys, it's Megan. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today we're going to do the part 3 of our mat sculpt series. So if you've been following along, part 1 was upper body, part 2 was lower body, and now part 3 we're going to work on the core. So I'm going to take this back to very basic mat Pilates 101. We're going to focus on our breath, how to move from the core. So this is for every level, but also for beginners who really need to learn how to move from the core and taking all that tension out of the lower back when they're doing the exercises and more in the core. So let's go ahead and get started. And no props are needed, guys, just you and your mat, okay? So we're gonna come on down and we're gonna start on our backs. So come lay down onto your backs and you want your feet flat, just right under, nice and comfortable, your hands are flat. Okay, so from here, we're going to start with just that nice neutral spine. So as we lay here flat, you want your shoulders flat onto that your mat and your rib cage flat onto that mat and your bottom onto that mat. But you'll see that you have a small little grape-sized gap between your low back and your mat, which is totally fine. That is called a neutral spine. So your hips aren't lifted like this and they're not coming back. So you're not in a posterior or anterior tilt. You're just in a neutral spine, the natural S curve of your spine. And from here, let's just focus on our breath, okay guys? So go ahead and make a diamond shape with your hands, like a pyramid, and you're gonna place that pyramid on your hip bones and on your pubic bone. And as you can see, you'll have a nice flat pyramid or parallel to the floor. And that's a great indication that you are in a neutral spine. So if you ever need to find that, just make a pyramid, put it on your hip bones and on your pubic bone, and make sure that's nice and flat and parallel to that mat, and you're in a neutral spine. From here, let's just inhale. As you inhale, think about filling up your lungs and breathing into that mat, filling your tummy. And as you exhale, draw your core in closest to your spine, really finding that core engagement. So inhale through your nose, filling up your lungs, breathing into that mat through your nose, and exhale through a pursed lip and drawing that core closer to your spine, really finding that deep connection. So with these breaths, we are activating our transverse abdominis, which is our most important core muscle. That's the one that wraps around our whole tummy, kind of like a girdle or saran wrap. That's our big supporter in our trunk and our core here, okay? That supports our spine, a lot of our muscles, a lot of everything. So we want to make sure we always activate that. So let's go ahead, inhale and exhale. Activating that core muscle, drawing it in, inhale, filling up the lungs, and last one, exhale. Stay here, guys. Now, with your stomach drawn in towards your spine, hold that contraction. Now, see if you can inhale, still holding that contraction on your stomach. And exhale, contracting it even tighter. One more time. Inhale, hold that contraction. And exhale, see if you can contract it a little bit tighter. Good job. Go ahead and come back to that neutral spine. So from here, now we're going to start adding a little bit of leg movement with that same breath. So you can just figure out how we use that breath while we move now. So we're moving from the core, we're engaging that core. So let's go ahead and inhale. Let's keep our feet flat, sorry. We're going to inhale, reach our right foot out. Still have it on the floor, we're not lifting it yet. Inhale, here. And exhale, bring it back in as you draw your stomach in closer to your spine. Same thing, other leg. Inhale, reach it out. Fill your lungs, and exhale as you draw your stomach in closer to your spine. So we're just moving from the legs. You really want to try to keep everything stable as possible. The stomach's not moving, the pelvis is not moving. Just those legs. Inhale, reach your right leg as slow as possible, nice and steady, and then exhale, drawing your stomach closer to your spine, bringing that leg back in. Let's do that other leg one more time. Inhale, reaching your left leg. And exhale, finding that core engagement, bringing that stomach in closer to your spine. Good. So perfect. Now we've learned how to move from a neutral spine. We learned how to breathe in through our nose, also exhaling, contracting our stomach muscles, firing up our transverse abdominis, okay? So always keep that in mind, the way we move in all these exercises. So now we're gonna show you the other way that we're gonna put our spine in, especially when we bring our legs off the mat. So anytime we bring our legs off the mat, we're gonna do a shift in our pelvis, and it's gonna protect our lower back and keep the exercises still in our core. So from here, guys, so find that little pyramid. You want to have it right on your pubic bone, stay in that nice neutral spine, so that's how we know we're in that neutral spine. And then from here, we're going to go into an imprinted spine, which that means we're going to go to posterior pelvic tilt. We're going to bring our hip bones up towards our belly button and our small of our back, which had a little gap. Now we're going to close that gap and bring the small of our back onto that mat. That's going to protect our low back, and we're going to put all of the core exercises in our core with our legs up, okay? So let's go ahead. So as you inhale, exhale as you shift your legs up, and think about the best way also for this, bring your hands like this, right on your knees. Bring your legs like to nice tabletop 90 degrees. Think about pushing your knees into your hands a little. So if you feel that, you'll feel that nice little shift, and you'll feel your low back meet the mat. So if you feel that, good job. And it's just bringing your knees a little bit closer towards your core, okay? And you want to feel that low back onto that mat. So don't arch your back like this. Bring it back. So we go in that posterior pelvic tilt, sorry. Blah. And you feel like your hip bones are kind of shifting back up towards your belly button. Good. From there, guys, now we're in an imprinted spine. This is important when we have our legs up. So whenever we come into any type of exercise with our legs up off the mat, go into that imprinted spine. You should feel that nice shift in the hips. From here, we're just going to do we want to keep that imprinted spine. So now let's just do a nice little single leg toe tap. So I'm just going to tap my right toe down, controlling it in the core, contracting the muscle that we worked on, the transverse abdominis, keeping our low back down, and lifting up. And remember, lift by extending the knee down and up. And the lower you bring your foot, the more you're going to feel this in the core. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you're feeling it and it just doesn't feel good, don't bring your toe all the way down. Just bring it down where you still have that core connection. It's out of your low back and back up. Another thing, I'm not tapping from here. You'll see that I'm tapping and I'm extending my leg down from the knee. Good. So just focus on the breath. Keep your hands down flat. Inhale as you tap your toe, and then exhale as you bring it back up. These are slow and controlled moves, guys. Nothing too fast, because I have a lot going on. I'm focusing on my breath. I'm firing up my transverse abdominis. It's still doing a lot of that work. I'm keeping it out of my low back by keeping my hips tilted back. My low back is still on that mat, and I'm really using a lot of my core, a lot of the lower core muscles right now. Let's go for 3, and then exhale up. Use your breath. Inhale through your nose, and exhale to that pursed lip. Never hold your breath, okay? Last one here. Good. Stay there. Now we're going to go into double leg. So keep your back flat, and now I'm going to put both feet down. Tap both toes and up. So this just got a little bit more challenging, a little bit more core work with both legs. So if you're able to reach both toes down, still controlling it in that core, keeping that low back flat, good. That's too much. Just come down where you feel it in the core and lift back up. You don't have to go all the way down, depending where you are in your practice here, okay? So let's inhale, tap those toes, and then exhale, lift. Still keeping those shoulders flat, wide collarbones. Inhale, exhale, lift. Good, let's do one more. Inhale, lowering down, and then exhale, lift. And just go ahead and grab your knees for a quick second and just roll them out side to side. So good, guys. I hope you were able to understand what I was saying. You're able to find that core engagement, fired up our transverse abdominis. You understood neutral spine to imprinted spine. Those are the two spinal positions that are very common and important in mat Pilates, even reformer Pilates, so Pilates in general. So it's really important to understand those two positions, neutral to imprinted. And for my followers that are big Pilates gurus, you already know this, so good job, but it never hurts to kind of come back to those basics and be like, oh yeah, you're right. So good. Good job, guys. So now we're going to add on to this, okay? Great. So if you're still beginner, keep your head and neck flat onto that mat, but if you want the challenge and you are more intermediate, let's go ahead and add some on to this. So from here, we're going to go back into our imprinted spine, so bringing your legs to tabletop. Remember, find that imprinted spine, shifting the hips back. And then we're going to bring our head, neck, and shoulders up. So make sure your head, neck, and shoulders, you can bring your hands behind your head. Just make sure your arms and your collarbones are broad. You're not like this. So bringing the elbows up towards the side and lifting from the neck and head, so you're not straining that neck here. Controlling it in the core. So we're just going to add on to this, okay? So using those same movements that we were doing, from here we're just going to go into single leg stretch. So same thing, I'm just going to extend my leg out straight and then back in. So same thing, I'm still keeping that nice flat back maintained onto that mat. I don't have an arch. I'm still activating my transverse abdominis. I'm breathing in through my nose as I extend. And then I'm exhaling, drawing that core closer to my spine. Inhale, filling up my lungs. And then exhale, drawing it closer. So these are slow and controlled moves. And the slower you bring your leg down, if I want to bring it down a little bit lower, the more challenge it'll be. And I'll feel more in my core. If that's too much and you have your head, neck, and shoulders, you can keep your legs more up towards that ceiling. If you want that challenge, try to make it parallel to that floor. Remember, push your hands into your head to support that neck. Don't arch that back. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're just going to add on to this. Now we're just going to add a little twist. So as I extend that right leg, I'm going to bring my elbow, my armpit, not my elbow. So I'm not going to collapse on that chest, toward that opposite leg, and then switch. So now we're just doing the same exercise, adding that twist, and we're just hitting those obliques. But the same principle still goes here, okay? Low back still onto that mat. I'm still focusing on my breath. Still have my transverse abdominis fired up. Good, slow and controlled. Think about really rotating. And let's go for 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good. Hug your knees, just roll in a little ball and just shake it up. We're not done. I'm just giving you a quick little break. And then from here, guys, we're going to come back up to that position. So back to tabletop. Print that spine, head, neck, and shoulders up. And from here, we're going to go into double leg stretch. So I'm going to extend both my legs out and my arms opposite direction and bring it in. So this is too much for you, and you're like, I'm not there yet. Keep your head, neck, and shoulders down. And it's fine to reach like this. But just remember, don't reach your legs too far like this if you're feeling your low back. So you want to still maintain that imprinted spine. Just reach your legs a little bit further up, but feel that core working hard as you extend out and in. So keep it out of your low back, guys. Keep that nice imprinted spine, especially if you're going to keep your head, neck, and shoulders down on that mat. But if you're with me, come on up, and now let's go ahead and extend and bring it in. Slow and controlled here still. You're going to extend arms and legs opposite direction and bring it in. Try not to arch that tummy out like this. Draw it in closer as you extend and then bring it in. Good. So you're pretty warm. Hopefully you are too. And in. We're almost there. Let's go for 5. Use your breath. Inhale, extend. Exhale back in. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good. Sorry, a car drove by. I told you I film in my garage, so I can't help it. So good, guys. Just hold on to your knees, shake it off from here, and then from here we're just going to go into a nice little scissor kick. So I'm going to extend my left leg out and bring my right leg up to ceiling here. And if you are, you can keep your head, neck, and shoulders down the entire time. It does not matter. And you can just switch like this. But really think about pulling that leg back towards your chest. Try to lengthen through that leg, stretching through that knee. Try to not have the knee bent. Really lengthen up, pointing those toes, and then switching. So you're getting a nice hamstring stretch, but we're still going to work those low abs. But if you're with me, bring your head, neck, and shoulder up. Your leg comes hovering off that mat, and we're just going to switch. And really pull that leg back towards your chest, lengthening through those knees. Good. Feel those low abs working hard, slow and controlled here. Focus on that breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Few more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and last one, exhale. Grab both knees and roll into a ball. Whew. Awesome job, guys. So last one that we're going to do here on the mat is very classical Pilates move called the hundreds, okay? So we can do this. I'll do it in levels for, where you are in your practice. So for beginners, intermediate, advanced. So from here, let's start with our hands flat, feet flat. We're going to bring our legs to tabletop. We're going to imprint that spine. And for beginners, let's go ahead and just start pumping and pulsing your arms. So it's little pulses right by your side, and your arms are hovering over that mat. They're not down. So right here in little pulses, you're going to inhale, exhale. So it's very fast. Inhale, exhale. So it's 5 counts inhale, 5 counts exhale, okay? So just starting here, we're going to add on to this. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So if you want to add on to this, bring your head, neck, and shoulders up. Still in that nice imprinted spine. Bringing your shoulder head over your shoulders. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Still pumping those arms. If this is, if you want to add on to this, guys, now let's extend both legs. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good, just like this. So this is the full extended Pilates 100. So if you're here, good job. Keep pumping. Inhale, almost there. Exhale, inhale. Control it in the core. Don't feel this in your low back. Use that breathing technique I taught you in the beginning. Inhale, last set. Inhale, and exhale. Grab both knees. See if you can roll closer towards your knees into a nice little ball. And then go ahead and lay down. Whew. Good job, guys. So let's come on up. And now we're going to come onto our sides. So hopefully you liked that whole line on back series. So now let's go onto our sides and let's work into more of our side body, getting into our obliques, okay? So just like I did where I was lying down and I took it, I progressed in the levels, we're going to do the same thing with some side planking, okay? So depending where you're at, remember if the first part of it feels good, stay there. If you want to, try to go to the next part, but you're just not quite there yet, go back to that first part and stay there and you will get stronger, so don't worry. So that being said, let's get started. So I'm going to come onto my right side here and I'm going to place my forearm down. So place your forearm down, make sure your elbow is right under your shoulder and you don't want it all the way out here, that's what I'm trying to say, keep it under your shoulder. And then really press through that arm. Do not sag into it, okay, the entire time. So really press through that arm the entire time. And then you want to lay down onto your side. Really lengthen from head to tail here. I'm not like this. I'm really using my mat. And keep your legs crossed. So stack your legs, the knees, but lengthen through that side. And then we're going to take this up. So when you're ready, press through that shoulder, and this is very beginner, press through that shoulder and just squeeze your knees together, and you're going to lift those hips up. So now I'm in a very assisted forearm plank here, side plank. And what you want to focus here, really press those knees together, squeezing those inner thighs and lifting up on this right side. So you want to press through that right shoulder and think about really lifting up on this right side like a rainbow. Feel those obliques work. That right side oblique should be fired up now. Press through that arm. Good. This is good for you. We're just going to come down and lift up. So every time you come down, inhale. And then every time you lift up, see if you can even lift up further on that right side. Inhale. If you want to make it a little bit harder, reach your hand up to the ceiling and exhale. Inhale. And then last one, keep it up. Exhale. So if that's good for you, stay there. We're going to add on some more intermediate. We're going to reach our top leg out. And now we're just resting on one leg. So this makes it a little bit more challenging. From here, same thing. Press through that right side. Keep your hips stacked here, guys. Don't roll out. Keep them stacked. You're just going to lower your hips down and lift. Lower and lift. Still lifting up on that right side. For 3, 2, draw your stomach in closer to your spine. Last one, stay there. Now, if you really want to take this to the next level, you're going to reach both legs out and you're going to stack them. So now I'm in a full forearm side plank, okay? I'm really pressing through this right arm. Press through it, lift up on that right side, and lower the hips and lift. Lower, tap, and lift. Inhale, and lift. For 4, 3, 2, last one, guys. Stay up. And if you really want that challenge, lift that top leg into a nice star position. Press through that shoulder and just hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Whew. Good job, guys. So hopefully you're able to progress in that whole side plank series. But if not, no worries. Stay where you were, whichever side, with your knees down or one leg or both legs extended, whatever worked for you. Good. And also, that's also a shoulder workout, really pressing through that arm. From here, let's go ahead and lay onto our stomachs. We're going to come onto our stomachs. You're going to tuck your toes in, under, sorry. So here they are laying flat. I'm going to tuck them under, and I'm just going to push up. So now I'm in a kneeling plank. So you see this, as I tuck my toes under and push up through my hands, I'm automatically in this nice kneeling plank. So I'm from head to tail. I'm not like this, and I'm not like this. And I'm not arching my butt, and I'm not really dropping them. You want to keep your stomach very engaged. Draw that core closer to your spine, really lifting up on it. Press through both 10 fingers, press through that hand, not just the wrist. From here, we're going to do another progression of some planks. So this is good for you. Stay here. Just really engage that core. If you want to add on, let's go ahead and reach that left leg out, keeping your hips square to that mat. Little some bend in those elbows. Don't hyperextend like that. Little bend. I'm guilty of that, so I have to remind myself too. Bring that leg out and then bring it back in. Let's go the other leg. So just little leg extensions, and you're still in that nice little diagonal from head to tail, and I'm still engaging my core. My core is really tight. I have my transverse abdominis on. I'm sucking it in towards my spine and in. And when I'm moving through these leg extensions, I'm not moving like this. I'm doing it very slowly. I'm trying not to move my pelvis as much as possible. Just move through those legs, gauging that core for 3, 2. Same thing, inhale through your nose, and then exhale, draw that core in tighter. 1, good. From here, guys, now we're just gonna go ahead, tuck those toes under, and now we're gonna push out into a full high plank. If this is too much for you, stay here, that's totally fine. If you want that challenge, press through that hand. Make sure your weight is over your wrist. You're not here or over here. Just like that. Legs are about hip distance apart, and just hold that plank. Draw that cut stomach in closer to your spine, don't let it hang, and bring your right knee in and back. Left knee in, so just knee tucks. I'm bringing it in towards my chest and back. And the same thing. I'm trying to keep everything as steady as possible. Don't move too much. Keep that pelvis, everything steady as possible. Feel that core. Working hard here for 4, 3, slower, 2, and last one. Come on in, walk your legs about hip distance apart, and see if you can just hold that plank, guys. Press through those hands, soften the elbows, lift that stomach in towards your spine, drop the hips just a little bit lower, lengthen through that spine, you got it, hold it. Breathe in through your nose, exhale. If you're shaking, I'm right there with you. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one, and drop those knees and come down into a nice child's pose. Whew. Good job, guys. Let's go ahead and flip over and do our left side oblique, okay? So we're gonna do everything that we just did on that right side onto that left side. I'm just keeping track of time here. Good, so let's start from the beginning. So now I'm on my left side. I'm gonna put my left forearm down. I wanna make sure my hand's flat. It's more comfortable this way for me, so hopefully it's for you rather than making a fist. Because you're gonna press through that hand. So make sure your hand is flat. Your elbow is right under your shoulder. Remember, lengthen through the spine. Use the mat as nice length. We're not up here. Stacking the knees. Make sure the elbow's right under the shoulder. And then from here, when you're ready, we're gonna press through that shoulder, lifting those hips. So squeezing the knees, squeezing those inner thighs, pressing through that shoulder really hard. We're not sagging into it. Really lifting, and then lifting up through that left side. So really feel like a rainbow here. The higher, the better. Good, feel those obliques work. Keep that tension there. Lift that arm if you like, and then drop those hips. Inhale, exhale as you lift. Higher, inhale as you drop. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you drop. And exhale as you lift. Good, stay there, guys. If you want to add on to this, now you're going to extend that top leg. So you're just kneeling on that bottom leg. Top leg's extended. Now we're just going to inhale, drop that hip, exhale, lift. So really think about still lifting up on that right side, that left side oblique, sorry. Inhale, and then exhale, lift. Inhale, and then exhale. Even higher, guys. Pull those shoulders back. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale. Now hold that hip high. And now if you're with me, stacking both legs. Extend both legs up. Press through that left shoulder. Good, guys. Keep those hips squared. Don't roll out. I'm right there with you. Drop that hip and lift. And lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, the last one. Keep it up. See if you can lift that top leg and just hold that star for 5. Lift up on that left oblique. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down and shake it off. Whew. So yes, I definitely can feel that in my shoulder as well as my left oblique. So a lot of muscles working on those side planks. Good job, guys. Last one here, we're just gonna finish it off with a little bit more planking from kneeling. So from here, almost done, I promise. Let's come on to all fours here. Make sure your knees are right under your hips and your hands are right under your shoulders here, okay? I'm not like this, and I'm not in that nice, what we did earlier. So now we just want to be stacked on all fours. Tuck the toes under. So when the toes are laying flat here, I'm going to tuck them under. And from here, we're just going to go into a hovering, kneeling plank. So I'm going to press through my hands, and I'm just going to bring my knees up and then drop them. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, soften those elbows. Push up, and then exhale as you come down. So think about really drawing that core in closer to your spine with every exhale, really activating that core muscle. Inhale, and exhale. Let's do a few more. Inhale, and exhale. Last one. We're going to stay up. So inhale up, and stay up as you exhale, drawing that core in tighter. Inhale. Exhale, draw it closer. Inhale. Exhale, draw it closer. Inhale. Exhale, draw it closer. Inhale. Last one, exhale, draw it closer. And just hold that kneeling plank. Press through those hands, soften the elbows, lift those knees up, draw that core in closer. You got it, guys. Focus on your breath. Inhale and exhale. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both knees down. Finish with the child's pose. And let's come on up. All right, guys, so that was part 3 of our mat sculpt series, moving from the core. I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, this is very beginner friendly, but also for every level. It's never a bad idea to go back to the basics of, our breathing, imprinted neutral spine, just going over all those basic principles. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out my reformer sculpt series. I did everything that we did here, but on the reformer, upper, lower, and core. And then checking out the mat series, upper body, lower body, and then now the core. So thank you so much, guys. Hopefully, maybe I'll add on to these series if I want to work on a certain body part or muscle. But for now, thank you so much. And I will see you guys later. Bye.